Finally happened. I got a ticket. Yeah, I got nailed last night driving home.
Well, last week we were talking about your supercar weekend.
Supercar weekend.
And you admitted that you may or may not have gotten a car up to about 180 over the weekend.
Yeah.
And now, a week later, you got a ticket.
Yeah,
finally.
Finally got, finally got it. Got pulled over last night driving home. And, I got 95 and a 55. Oof. Oof. He hit me, too. Got me for no front plate. It's like, once you write someone up for 95 and a 55, perhaps you could just kind of look away from, I don't have a front plate on my car. Excuse me.
No, where were you going?
I was going home.
And
from Mommy's.
Black cop, white cop?
No, the guy was writing the demo. You know,
Wow,
knew the show. It was one of those, just nothing worked.
He didn't care.
What are you going to do?
Well, he knew the show?
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Pulled out every friggin' thing I could try. I just didn't want to. He was very courteous and everything. It wasn't like he was, an ass or anything. He was very nice. But
you were wearing the police uniform that the NYPD gave you, right?
Oh, yeah. I had my lights on the car and everything.
All right,
I was in a cruiser.
Man, he must have had a bad day then.
He must have.
Maybe his mommy's not around for Mother's Day, and he had to take it out on you because, most of us get PBA cards. Wow, I had no idea what the NYPD hands out if they really like you.
Well,
my God.
A little bit of everything.
I think you're part of the police force.
I am indeed I'm an officer.
Yeah.
Law officer.
He has Justin Volpe's plunger.
I just pull that out, sniff the end.
Yeah.
I'm good. You can let me go.
What did you say? You said, how did you say I'm from Opie and Anthony? And he said, what did he say?
How embarrassing.
Well,
that's why I never pull that card because I can't take rejection from a cop.
95 and a 55. I'm going to try everything.
No,
everything. I pulled out, I'm like, I got friends in the precinct. I got my PBA cards and stuff. And it didn't work. And he said, where are you coming from? And I told him, come from my mother's house on Mother's Day. And he's like, what are you going so fast for? I was like, I got to get home. I got to get to sleep. I get up early for my show. That's what I do. I kind of you gotta work it in.
You can't as soon as the officer comes to your side.
No, I am on a show.
From Opie and Anthony.
I'm on a show.
You got to kind of casually work it in, like, hey, yes.
So it's like, Opie and Anthony show. Oh, you're Anthony. I'm like, yeah.
And you're like, all right, nice. I'm off the hook.
Just hold on a minute. Goes back to the car. I'm just, and then I realized he was in the car too long. Time's ticking. I'm just sitting there going, oh boy. So he comes back and wrote me up.
But he didn't even give you nothing? He didn't knock any of it off?
He didn't knock anything off.
Ugh,
like I said, he wrote me up for the speed.
I think he added a mile or two.
I didn't have my insurance card with me. I may have an old one.
Yeah.
I got the new one. It's, I'm insured, believe me. So he wrote me up for uninsured. And he wrote me up for no plate on the front. I'm not going to put a plate. And I always said, I'm not putting a plate on the front of the Shelby. I'm just not going to do it. So I'll eat that ticket. I don't care. I'll pay it. But the Speedo is like, wow. Oof.
Don't you have to go to court for that?
Yeah.
That's a court one.
That's a few points and maybe jail time. I don't know what that is.
That's not writing a check and sending it in the mail. That's
a tough one.
You got to put your court suit on.
Could knock a few miles off.
He didn't knock a thing off, man.
Cool.
Not a thing. He was just...
What could you get for a 95 and a 55?
Well, I think you go to jail.
No.
You can't go to jail.
And I think...
Like reckless driving or something.
I think twice over speed limit is jail.
I don't know. I think it's 25 over.
25 over and you can get jail.
25 over is bad. Yeah.
You're not getting jail.
Nah, for 80 miles an hour and a 55?
It's 95 and a 55.
I'm saying that's 25 over. That's where jail starts?
I don't know. Oh, you can lose your license, someone's saying, but I'm reading it off of, the internets.
The internets?
So, yeah, I don't think...
Well, that kind of put a damper on your old weekend, huh?
Well, it was the tail end of it. So, what are you going to do? Saturday, I did nothing. I had a nothing Saturday, which is great.
It's about time you had a nothing. You almost had a nothing weekend if it wasn't for this ticket, right?
I finally got out of bed when my hips hurt. I was just like, ow, I got to get out of bed. I hurt.
Wait.
I was getting bed sores. It was just time to leave the bed.
Wait, if you had a nothing Saturday, that means you had a something Friday.
Yeah, Friday
was a little rough.
Friday might have been a little raucous.
See, I didn't catch that when you were telling me in the office. I'm thinking
8 points.
You get 8 points on your license for a 95 and a 55.
So it can be 8 points. I can't have 8 points.
8 points is 40.
Danny. Yes.
Well, 40 miles over the legal limit is 8 points. 40 or more is an immediate 11 points, and I think they revoke your license.
Come on.
That's
Just going home.
It would be hilarious if you have to go to like driver's ed.
No, it's not hilarious.
With all the little 15-year-old girls, man.
All right, I'll go. I'll suck it up and I'll go to the classes. I think I need to be educated.
I would laugh my ass off if you have to get your license all over again with pimple-faced kids.
Oh,
you know what? As much as that guy is a prick, I'm really grateful he did what he did.
Shut up, Mister. Educate me and
we're
trying to slow me down.
Keep the radio show going for me.
Yeah, listen to the signs. They're all around you. This one is a biggie. You got to slow down just a little bit there, Anthony. In general,
yeah,
you gotta be aware of the signs. Let's say hi to.
Oh, look at that!
Now you're gonna get all sorts of info here. Bill on Long Island. Bill.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey.
I just got a ticket on Saturday coming home from work. Maybe an 85 and a 55. Now, I was just 30 miles an hour over the limit, so it's just you pay it, mail it in, no court, no lose your license. 31 miles an hour over, that's when they can take your license away.
Damn it.
This guy knocked a few off mine.
You're at risk of losing your license, my friend.
For one Speedo?
Yep.
Give me a break.
Thank you. Steve from Bayshore writes, now we know what the 511 stands for on Ant's hat, the day his ass finally got ticketed.
Oh, yesterday was 511?
You've been wearing the sign for the last year.
Damn it.
It's been right on your hat.
I knew it had some significance.
You would think if you wore a 511 hat, then on 511, you would probably just stay home.
I should take it easy.
Yeah.
God damn, I can't lose my license.
A lot of people saying it's 8 points. Let's say hi to Tim in Pennsylvania. Tim, what's up?
Tim.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Good morning, Tim.
Anthony, hate to tell you, buddy.
Are you calling from Real Radio?
Wow. This is real audio, yeah.
I mean, Real Audio.
Real audio. Version 1.0.
I had to yell out that line because I can't hear you, buddy.
What do you got, Tim?
Every Monday.
Obviously,
I
a
turn on my
sneaker
radio,
phone.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go
Or
ahead.
a football phone. That's 0 for 2. Why don't you start crashing me? It would help me out here. All right, what do you got, Tim?
Every Monday, Anthony gets on talking about how he's going this excessive speed and how he gets away with. I think the police at this point are probably sick of it, and they probably have a.
I think what Tim's saying, you're going to have to call from a better phone, Tim. You're driving everyone nuts. It's your own fault, Ant. You asked for it. That's what Tim is saying.
He's calling from the future.
Yeah. Mike from Whitestone. Mike?
You know, Anthony,
Hey.
I listened to you talking about all your driving antics.
Yeah,
Driving
antics.
crazy, driving like a nut and everything. 95 miles an hour, you know, God forbid you hit somebody. Kill someone.
I don't hit somebody. I drive very nice at 95. I'm a good driver when I speed. Trust me.
You know, you think you're an IndyCar driver or
Yep.
something, the way you explain.
No, I don't. It's NASCAR. IndyCar's silly on the highways. It's more of a NASCAR thing.
Mike, you got to get it right, too, because for Anthony going 95, he doesn't feel like he's doing anything.
No, that feels like
last weekend he was doing oh boy, Mike. Last week he was doing 180 on the highways.
Mike's mouth is doing 95. Let me tell you.
Driving that goes 180.
That's right, Mike. You raise a good point.
Mike,
He does not.
You know you just talked through everybody, right?
I'm sorry about
You plowed through. We were sitting here trying to listen to you, and then when we tried to talk at 95, you plowed through us.
Sorry about that. But I mean, you know something, Anthony?
Yeah.
And the arrogance with all your cash,
Yep.
to even think
up,
about
Jimmy.
flashing a card. I mean, you should be embarrassed to do something like that. You shouldn't have those things in the first place. And
What?
I would give you double the ticket.
Yep.
Why don't you go take your mother and lay her down and have sex with her?
After
And
yours, how's that?
in the you know, I'd rather say it a different way, but have sex with your mother.
Anthony, Mike.
Go have sex with your mother, Mike.
Anthony, Mike's just telling the truth here. What could I tell you?
He is not.
There's a bit of
Mike's
arrogance.
an ass.
There's a bit
There
of
is no arrogance.
in your life these days.
I can't drive 55.
You needed someone to maybe teach you a little bit.
One foot on the brake and one on the gas. Hey.
I got the remedy for it. Drive 100 into a wall, then you'll have no problem driving 55 anymore.
Well, Mike, that's not a good answer.
Wow.
You're gonna have to deal with the phones. I'm very surprised.
I don't like this guy.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them.
They're all coming out of the woodwork going, oh, good. Good for you.
I thought you would have some sympathy this morning, but no, they've been waiting for this day for a while.
Go screw.
Paul in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
Hi,
Good morning.
You had it coming your way, buddy. Yep. You were pushing in everybody's face how you were getting off the hook.
I wasn't pushing it. I was reporting what was happening. I wasn't pushing anything in anyone's face. I was trying to drive home.
I don't want to hear you cry about it now then either, right?
Who's crying, you dick? Who's crying?
So wait, are you saying that? Hold on, dude. Are you saying that because Anthony did kind of get away with it so many times, it's just his turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look at Jimmy last week lost mine because you cursed on, live on the air. It was about time. You were just looking out for you. That's all, pal.
You're basically saying that Anthony's been a braggart lately, and it's about time he got his. Hey. I'm with you there.
Got his comeuppance.
Yeah, you got your. Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
You know what happened, Ant? You've been bragging about going 180 miles an hour on the Long Island Expressway.
I wasn't bragging.
You know when that guy pulled you over last week, and you got 2 warnings. 2 different cops pulled you over last weekend. You got 2 warnings. A week later, you're getting a 95 and a 55. You don't think you were on there, Master Computer? Let this guy off because he's part of the Opie and Anthony show, but let's watch this guy closely.
I was in a different car.
Yeah, but as soon as they probably popped your license into the system, and they probably
said,
in the notes area, they're like, if you get, we have to give
write him up.
Finally,
might have been. You might be right.
State won't take away your license. If he was a fan, well, here's Greg on Long Island. Greg.
Yeah, you said that the cop was a fan, right?
Well, I said I wasn't sure if he was a fan. He knew of the show, is all I'm saying.
Maybe he was siding with Jimmy and just tried to tell you to cut the shit.
Whoa!
Well, you can put it in a different way. You could actually say cut the crap.
Yeah.
Or cut the nagel.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to say. But the thing is, I think he could have knocked a couple of MPH off of the thing. It's a little...
All right, let's go to Don the trucker. Don, what's up?
Hey, Dom.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey,
I was just kind of wondering, with all your gadgets and your gizmos and your guns and your computers, why in the hell didn't you invest in the radar detector, pal?
I go too fast for radar detectors. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, it's good for a few miles an hour over, but by the time I see it, I'm done. I'm cooked.
You could actually go too fast for a radar detector? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Hey, I drive a truck, man. I'm an outlaw trucker. I've got one. You wouldn't believe the technology with the radar detector.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question with the radar detector. If you're probably the only guy around at that point, but even if you do hear it, can't you slow down enough where he might not be sure exactly what car it is if there's a bunch of
Maybe.
cars?
Maybe.
Yeah, you have plenty of time, man. There's plenty of time to slow down.
Jam on the brakes.
Yeah.
I think it was because I was getting around some traffic at the time, I wasn't zigging and zagging like severe, but, I was I right lane and then slowly just ooze into the middle lane. And then the right lane again, and then over to the left.
You're not
and then the middle.
Slowly oozing to the middle lane.
I wasn't squeezing between cars, if that's what you mean. I wasn't doing that.
You were zigging and zagging.
I wasn't zigging and zagging. I was changing lanes, and I was using my directional.
Yeah.
I'm good like that.
Hey, man, a few bucks, good judge, you can get it reduced.
All right, Don, thank you.
Yeah, man.
I hope so.
He's like old school country, that guy.
Gotta work this out.
How many hits did Don have on the country charts back in the day? Fontaine, what's up?
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Hey, man.
Bert Convey, didn't you know you could settle it right there in Brainerd?
Yeah, you should just.
Yeah, I should have said that. Maybe we could take care of it right here in Brainerd. I was thinking maybe, I want to be in compliance.
right here in Smithtown.
Yeah, I want to be in compliance. So maybe I was thinking we could take care of it right here, in Brainerd. No.
Let's say good morning to Cleveland and
Step
say
out of
hi.
the car, please, sir.
It's like being compliant, that dumb look on his face.
Yeah.
Be in compliance. Well, I didn't put my tags on. Stupid Buscemi is great in that.
Let's say hi to
Come
Chuck.
on, man.
Chuck?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Chuck.
Yeah, Anthony, you said that cop didn't cut you any slack, but a little bit ago you said you'd been drinking too much. You think maybe he cut you a whole bunch of slack?
Yeah, you did say.
Let me think about this.
Wow.
Perhaps I was intoxicated.
You said,
and he didn't give me a DWI. He just wrote me up for traffic. No, I didn't leave drunk.
You did say you drank a lot at your mom's, though. You kind of
Earlier in the afternoon when I was there.
We can't erase that from the record. You personally said that right around 6:07.
Let me tell you what I do, though.
6:08.
I stop and I drink club soda for hours before I leave. Hours. I was fine.
And you're a small gentleman. It could not
Small?
have dissipated yet.
A small guy? I am.
All right.
Don't like that, Anthony.
Huh? Yeah.
All right, let's go to Philly. Brian and Philly, what's up?
What's up, boys?
Hey.
Hey, man.
I just wish there was a recorder device on the cop to hear Antonio groveling. Thank you.
Groveling?
Where's the
Just
sympathy
saying
for
that.
Anthony
I'm
today?
on
There's
Antonio from
none.
the
Everyone
Anthony
is
Show.
finally just
Antonio.
saying,
Bye,
we've
boys.
had it with you.
Where's the
We've
sympathy?
had it. This is everybody that gets tickets for doing anything wrong, and they've listened to me going off
Getting
every
away with
weekend.
murder, basically.
And they are now getting their day.
I'm Anthony from the Opie and Anthony Show. I have a PBA card. I know Keith, and he starts doing voices. Well, maybe.
Let's not write me up. How fast are you going? I don't remember. Yes.
Let's go to Steve on Long Island. Steve.
You don't have to give me a ticket. Limited tickets.
Angry
Morning,
Vince.
boys.
How important is the pen in writing a ticket? You're fired. There's no reason to write me up, officer. No reason. You know what? You think I'm going to pay this ticket? There's no chance in it.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
I don't have to pay tickets. Do you know who I am? A jackass. Didn't work.
Nothing worked, huh?
Nothing.
Steve.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Listen, Anthony, New York State has a driver responsibility fee. Not only are you going to get bagged for the fine, they're also going to bag you for going a certain number of points over a limit on your license. So, not only do you have to pay the fine, you got to pay the state for the privilege of keeping your license. For every, I think it's $150 every point over 4 or 5.
Look, I don't care about paying. I don't want points on my license.
But Anthony, they're taking money from you twice. Kind of like your ex-wife.
I want to do that.
Taking money twice, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I got to
have
slow
the
down.
problem.
I just got
I
to
have
slow
the
down.
problem. I'm a chronic speeder also, so I know it's bad.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. More phone calls standing by. Everybody wants in on the fact that Anthony got nailed going 95 and a 55. His PBA cards, his police uniform, his placards, his special license plates.
Nothing worked.
Nothing worked this time around. And the guy was a fan of the show. He could care less.
Well, he knew the show, yeah, so.
I think it's because of all the bragging you've been doing on the air. You know,
I'm not bragging.
but for these people that are, like, happy today, like, Anthony's giving you great radio by talking about the fact
There before the grace of God, you. Those that live in glass houses, you.
That's right.
he didn't
That's
have
right.
to admit that he went 180 last weekend. He got pulled over twice with warnings.
I was just, people asked how was a supercar weekend. So I told them. I gave them a whole story. Wasn't bragging. It's part of my job. I have a radio show. I talk about what I do.
But I think
And I whine now.
I think some of the law enforcement officers out there took note, though,
Yeah.
and said, look, we got to be watching for this guy.
Damn it.
We pull him over again, we got to give him a ticket this time around.
All right, look. Don't pull me over anymore. That's all I'm asking you.
How about you slow down a little bit?
No. Here's the deal. Don't pull me over anymore, and then you don't have to give me a ticket.
All right.
What? You don't like that?
You're insane.
I was trying. It is kind of silly.
Did you at least shoot your guns this weekend?
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, went to the
That
range.
made you happy?
I love shooting.
All right,
It's
good.
a lot of fun.
I just got to say thank you to a
Which officer?
law enforcement officer.
course. Of course.
Yesterday.
Of course.
Just want to say thank you. It's on the Expressway service road.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in the Mustang. It was in the Escalade. And, wow, this guy had a great spot. Just got to tell you. And I've never seen a speed trap on a service road. But, yeah, it got me, kind of waved me over, and asked how fast the speed limit is on the service road. And I said, 30 miles an hour. So he goes, hi, you know how fast you were going? And I kind of winced and squinted and went, 45? He said, you were doing 59 miles an hour in a 30. And that's like, it's a service road, you know.
Yeah, but everyone does that. Because it's basically an extra lane of the LIE here in the New York area.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an extra lane with the trees are a little closer by.
That's all.
On the sides.
House driveways coming into it, but what the hell?
Right.
So he says, you got a license in there? And I was like, yeah, I give him the license. And then, you know, little card here and there. Pull out a card. He's like, oh, you know, who's this? Because I got a friend, you know, sometimes does security, things like that. Oh, he goes, the name on here, you know, Anthony Cumia. He goes, that's looks familiar. I said, yeah, Opie and Anthony radio show. He's like, oh, Anthony, what's up? How you doing? He goes, here. Gives me back my stuff.
These guys are not doing you any favors.
Gives me back my
stuff. Do they understand that?
And then we chatted for a bit. And then as I pulled away, I rolled the window down. I went, wow, great spot.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, customers all day long. And he did say something like, I said, I really appreciate it. He goes, nah, you know, it's all right. He goes, we all got to justify our existence. and kind of just, you know, let me drive along.
Anthony, we all love you. But
Thank you.
You need to be locked up for a weekend.
Dude!
You need to be locked up for a weekend.
Stop!
These guys aren't
rapes.
No! These guys aren't doing you any favors. You need to be taught just a little lesson.
Look,
I'm too crazy. A little Friday to Sunday morning lockup.
No.
I know you go through detox a little bit. I understand that. But Sunday there'll be a nice drink waiting for you.
There is an officer in the 6th precinct in Suffolk County
who agrees with
that has kept me from driving fast through the 6th precinct.
Right.
He is an insufferable bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me the next time he pulls me over, he's locking me up. He's pulled me over too many times already now.
How many, really? I know.
I think, yeah, he's pulled me over twice, and he's observed me another time where he didn't pull me over.
He told you this?
Yeah. I observed you. Like he knows my vehicles now. Because he kind of lives by my parents, and he sees my cars, like, in the driveway, so he knows what I drive.
That's pretty impressive.
And then he's all nasty to me when he pulls me over. He doesn't want to see cars. He's the guy that took all my PBA cards away from me.
God forbid.
Took all of them away. And then proceeded to call every single number on the back and tell them what I did. That I was speeding. And then all of my cop friends called me up and goes, dude, this guy hates you. He goes, I've never had a guy call me up and say that, like, one of the guys I gave a card to was doing this.
There's a reason for it. There's something behind it.
Oh, this guy is just up.
Well, the reason...
People hate him. People in his own precinct don't like him.
Well, can I play the other...
He wrote up a trooper for speeding once.
That's obviously bad. But
really?
Yeah,
But to play the other side of this, the reason might be that you were going... You know, I don't want to... But you were...
Hey, I'm above the law.
More than the average person goes...
I'm a shock jock.
You were really going...
I was kind of speeding.
Yeah, we don't want to give numbers out, but it was quite impressive. I remember the story.
But let me tell you something.
Explain why the other cops hate him, though. If the other cops hate him, and they all hate him, and he called all those other... He's a douche.
He is. He is. Everyone knows him as a douche. It's not like, oh, this cop he's a cop, and that's why he's a douche.
Yeah.
It ain't. The cops don't like him.
Yeah.
He's just he'd write his own mother up.
Is he old?
Oh, what are you doing to me? No, he's middle-aged, kind of just grouchy. He likes yelling at you. Like, he likes getting you there and then yelling at you and reprimanding you. And I'm a yes, sir, no, sir guy. So I don't fight back with the cops. I'm, yes, sir, I understand. You're perfectly right. And then I pull away and go, wow, that guy was really rough. Oof. Just, and yeah, was he the guy that wrote me up? No, some other guy did. Yeah, but people don't even like him. His fellow workers. But now when I drive through the 6th, you might be right. So when I drive through the 6th now in Suffolk, Ooh, I back way the hell off.
But you're getting pulled over a lot, my friend, and we want you to be around.
I speed.
How about a little stint in the Tombs? Just a little weekend stint in the Tombs, just to scare you.
And
a little
59 ain't bad on a service road.
Nah,
it's a little silly.
I do that.
To tell you the truth, everyone does that.
I'm not Mr. Speed Demon.
And when I'm
get up
speeding,
to 60
though,
on that damn thing.
I'm only speeding in cars that are meant to speed in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not in an old Riviera cranking it up to 90 miles an hour.
Wait, you're not
That's
on roads
dangerous.
that are meant to be sped on. Like you're great.
Oh, that expressway is absolutely meant to, if it's clear and you got a straight run, 100, no problem.
What if an elk runs in front of you?
I'd have a Bob Kelly joke if it wasn't so skinny now.
Where's your line? I'm a big fan of the speeder.
Yeah,
I am, and I do my speeding from here.
Sure.
What I'm not a big fan is the zigzaggers.
No, I don't.
Are you a zigzagger?
That's really inappropriate.
I'm a zigzagger lover. No.
I call them the zigzaggers, where they're turning on a dime at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour.
I wait till I have
in and out.
Let me tell you one thing.
Crazy.
I will whip around some jackass in that left lane, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I'll let him know. I'll get a little close when I come back in. Because he's got to know. And then the thing is, it's not only me. The second I whip around someone in the left lane that's not moving, he's got someone right on his ass again. And do they move over? No. Get out of the way.
That's completely justified. Yeah, we all do that. The zigzaggers, that's my line.
Yeah.
Those guys scare the crap out of me. Hey, 13-year-old JC's back today.
Oh.
JC.
Hey, boys.
What's up,
man.
JC?
Anthony, how the heck do you still have your license?
You don't have one yet.
Sucks, man.
You know what? Yeah.
You're a little 13-year-old.
Yeah. You got to have personality. Like that pig on Green Acres.
He called every cop on. That's unheard of.
Took all my PBA cards and called every cop on the back of them.
How did he take them all?
He said, give me those. Because I pulled them out, and I was thumbing through them for my Suffolk one. Like, pick a card, any card. So I pulled out the Suffolk one, and he's like, all right. He goes back to the car. Mm-hmm. And then he said, let me see those. And he took them, and then he asked me to walk up to the car. He asked me to get out of my vehicle and walk up to his car with the little, he's like,
all right, driver, get out of the vehicle. Close the door. Now step up to my window.
I'm like, what does this guy think I am? And then add in your own finishing move there on that joke. So I walk up to the window, and he's got my license. He goes, I catch you doing this again, I'm locking your ass up. He gives me my license back, and then he goes, and I'm keeping these. And he took them, and he threw them all in that little side compartment on your door that you have in your car. Threw them all down there. And later on, he must have just went through them all and called up the number on the back and was just like, hey.
I think I know the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, whoever he is, he probably has minuscule genitals.
Oh.
And he's one of those little power hungry.
Yeah, he is very power
I know
hungry.
you well enough to be. If the other cops, other cops go, look, he's all right. He just doesn't like you. That's one thing. But the other cops don't like him. He's written up a trooper. He's one of those guys who is so desperate to be seen as a powerful guy. Like, why else get over the thing and have you come out? Just being a.
Let me tell you something. I know I deserve to get ticketed when I'm driving fast like that. I know I do.
Well, that's a start.
And there are certain
you
things.
You deserve a lot of other things, but all right, well,
but
that's a start.
There are certain things that like I've said it before. I give the police the utmost respect. I respect their job. It's an insane job for somebody to have. It's crazy. I don't know why they go into it. It's an insane job. So when I do get pulled over, I got pulled over at night. One night, and the lights go on, and I'm looking and going, there's no safe place to really pull over. So I rolled my window down and kind of gave him a wave like I acknowledge that you're pulling me over. And I pulled off of the highway into a well-lit parking lot right under the light and rolled my windows down, put my hands on the steering wheel, turned my interior lights on, and just waited there. Now he comes up to the window, and he's more relaxed. It's not like, and I go, yes, sir. And just treat him with respect and make him feel safe, like you're not going to, pull something out of your glove compartment, or keep it dark in there, or get out of your car quickly. Things like that, like make cops nervous because their job is crazy.
How many times have you been pulled over in the last year? Be honest.
Can't even count. It has to be in the 20s. Somewhere in the 20s.
In the last year?
Yeah. Yeah. I get pulled over probably twice a month. Sorry. I have a sports car. It's sporty.
And this cop's a dick. I love it.
Well, he is.
I'm with you.
Look, there's a middle ground.
Believe me, the story you tell...
Dude, there's a middle ground.
The story you're telling, I believe me, I'm with you. Trust me, I am. But...
I got ticketed once. Here's the middle ground. I got ticketed once for making a right turn here in the city where you're not supposed to turn off the road for 20 miles because Bloomberg put signs up. So I made the turn anyway because I would have had to go way out of the way. And there was a cop waiting there. Pulls me over. I just said, okay, yeah, this is it. I'm going to go to court on this one, I guess. You know, he goes, I'll be there. He goes, I'll make sure I tell the judge you're very courteous and everything. I was like, thanks. Went to court, talked to the guy, talked to the judge. We all had a laugh, and they threw everything out.
You actually went to court on that?
Yeah. Went to court on it. And I had an excuse. I said I had to be in the bus lane because a bus with his blinkers on, there was construction taking up the rest of the road, and a bus with his blinker on forced me into the lane, and I thought the bus was turning, so I didn't want to go into the side of the bus, so I had to make the right turn.
Are you lying?
Of course I was.
Who gave you that scenario? That's brilliant.
But they don't see it. No, that was my own idea.
Oh, I hope to God they're listening right now, and then they hold you in contempt. They lock you up, and there's some kind of a weird glitch where you're confused with a Megan's Law offender.
Confused?
Yeah, exactly. Tony Cumia, I know him.
Screw that webcam idea of yours. You should start a website, getoutofaticket.com.
Get radio show.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, I got pulled over one time. We were sitting in a parking lot in Woodbridge, New Jersey, because Keith Robinson, who I used to live in New Brunswick.
Was he with you?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus. How bad were you both beaten?
Well, Keith was a black gentleman, and little Kevin Hart. You know who Kevin Hart is?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. Notoriously, he's a short guy, but he's a notoriously three-legged guy. I respect him a lot. He's in a Leslie Nielsen commercial where Leslie zaps him. He's a black dude. Leslie zaps him with a taser, and he goes, I see how this works. And he zaps.
Well, I don't remember that one.
It's not, whatever, that's the DVD this time. Anyway, he was in Soul Plane. I'm giving you who cares? He's a good guy. And
won the Oscar for that.
No, he didn't. They didn't give out any Oscars for that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It was really not hailed as a good film.
Oh.
And we were all sitting in this parking lot in Woodbridge late talking. So it's me and like three black guys. They're all comics. And a cop comes up. And what are you guys doing? We're just here. Why? Hey, Keith.
Oh, Jesus.
Keith, shut up.
Oh, no. Stupid Keith.
We're just sitting here, officer. But I got my license. And we ain't doing nothing. Why?
Why can't he just shut his mouth?
I don't know. But it was my car.
Oh,
I was
God.
driving. And I was like, shut up.
I'd be like, officer, he has a gun and drugs on him. I would like to leave the vehicle. I was kidnapped by these three. I was carjacked.
That's what you should have said. If I had 1 ounce of balls, I would have said we got carjacked.
It was carjacked. Please help me, officer.
They're telling me jokes and I'm laughing politely, but I'm frightened. Keith is a maniac. He's a maniac.
He sees those colors and he loses his mind.
And he might have had some bad, whatever. He grew up in a bad area of Philly. And I know Keith. Keith is not a criminal. Keith is just a belligerent ass.
Yeah.
He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't deal. He's nothing illegal.
But he's not courteous to the police.
He's awful. He told me a story one time. He was in a brothel. And the guy, he didn't want to pay because the girl was ugly or whatever the problem was.
You cannot pay because she's ugly.
And the security guy came in, and the guy, and he's like, what? Like, and the guy basically would have had to shoot Keith.
I'm going to throw you a beating.
And, he gets out of stuff like that because they understand that he's a psychopath and that they really will. It's like you can't bluff because he's just psycho.
So just let him go about his business.
He's truly insane.
I've heard stories where he talks about getting pulled over and he just, what? Why? Well, just give him the license. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Unbelievable.
Make them feel relaxed and comfortable. Don't put them in threatening type situations.
But he always has something wrong with his car, or his registration's not right.
Oh, of course.
And there's always a problem. And he does get at times he won't show up for a spot. You're like, what happened? They got my car.
He's funny, man.
Oh, that's funny.
He is so funny on that stage, too,
Dude,
man.
he's hilarious. He's just
what is he doing? He's one of the funniest guys I've seen on a stage.
He's one of the funniest dudes I've ever met.
And he dresses like he's in the 70s, man.
Oh,
he's got the old school, boxing glasses on.
Yeah.
He's a fool. But he is
dresses old school.
Purely funny, belligerent, horse's ass of a guy.
He's great. Listen, we got to take a break. Maybe E-Rock could work on a montage. It might be tough, and it might take some time.
Finding
a montage of all the cops Anthony has thanked in the last year.
Wow.
Are you being serious? Because, we try to... Because other shows, they're so hokey and stuff, they can just say crap, and people don't buy into it anymore. But you're telling me you get pulled over
probably twice a month. But a lot of times I forget. It's not a big event, so I don't mention it on the air. But I remember that one because he had a great spot. Damn, did he have a great spot? I'm gonna have to watch that because the service roads are like speedways.
Yeah.
They barely ever really patrol them. They're usually on the Expressway.
It's a great way around that
highway, guys.
Horrific traffic. That stupid LIE.
Yeah.
Mongo, what's up?
Hey, I know the one place that Anthony drives slow.
Yeah.
School zone, cruising for chicks.
Cruising for chicks. The guy makes a point, but for the wrong reason. I do drive the speed limit through school zones, those flashing lights, because they will not cut you slack, and they shouldn't through those. So I pretty nice through those.
I don't like the fact that he just said, and they shouldn't. Like, you know what, guys, all kidding aside, I understand.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, I understand safety. 144.
They should absolutely cut you slack in a school zone, even if you're hurling Budweiser bottles out the window. Why? Because you're famous. And that's what Anthony always says. He'll come in and he'll go, yeah, another dummy cut me a break. He knows he's Anthony.
Yeah, that's how he tells us. Tells it differently on the air.
Hey, I would say 50. Hey, you bastards, get me in trouble. I would say a good 50%, maybe even more, have no clue who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Really. But I talk to these people, like I said, with respect, like gentlemen.
I pulled the...
fess up to what I did.
I pulled the Opie from Opie and Anthony one time.
How'd that work out for you?
Mortified by the reaction. I haven't used it since.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of smoothly just said, I worked it into the conversation, and the cop actually said, so...
How did you work it in, though?
Just really awkwardly, a horrible segue.
See, that's how you gotta set it up so they ask you, and then your answer is, "Oh, I'm Anthony from the Opie and Anthony Show." What I usually do when I pull out the PBA cards, because they always ask, "Who is this?" You go, "Oh, it's an officer so and so, friend of mine. He does security for me," and then they'll go like, "Security for what?" Well, I do a radio show. Oh, what radio show?
So that's dumb.
I'm Howard Stern.
See, you're way better than me, man. I'll be, officer, I'm late for a barbecue. I'm Opie.
Oh, that sounds urgent.
And then I go, I'm Opie from Opie and Anthony. Like, it has nothing to do with the barbecue. It's just awful. And he goes, so?
Here's what I do.
I'll be right back with your ticket. I'm like, great. I'll never use that again.
No, you got to see you go run late for a show.
Yeah.
I always say, like, I'm sorry, I'm running. I'm just, I got to do a show in 5 minutes. I apologize.
Ooh.
And a lot of times they'll say, what kind of show? And I'll be like, mind your business and give back my license.
That's right.
I'm in a hurry.
That's right. Let's say hi to Lydia before the break from Oceanside. Lydia?
Hey, guys, I want to know when the intervention is for Anthony.
Oh, isn't this the shrink?
Of course it is.
Of course, Lydia the shrink. Yes, I do. Now, I'm starting to get the regulars after years.
She's very concerned about you, Aunt.
What intervention do I need, Missy?
Well, the alcohol, the guns, now the speeding, the wearing women's underwear with the webcam.
Hell did I do that?
One time. You were drunk.
I never wore women's underwear on a webcam. Not on a webcam.
You get, you get blotto every once in a while. Trust me. You talked about it once on the show.
Never.
One time, as a goof.
Jesus, I never did that. You're making it sound like I really did. Holy gee.
I love how she just throws that in there. And the wearing of women's underwear.
I take you at your word, Anthony. When you say you're going to put on women's underwear for the webcam, then I believe you.
No, I wouldn't do that. But an intervention, I don't think so. Trying to, I'm just trying to go through this like one of those Hollywood guys.
Yeah.
Name one. Who was that guy that cracked his head on the table and died?
William Holden.
Like Bill Holden. I want to live like Bill Holden.
Elvis Presley.
Right.
Lived a fast life.
That's it.
Your friends and family definitely need to call 1-800-INTERVENTION.
Screw them.
His friends and family? Who do you think he's drinking with?
Exactly.
That's true. They have no idea. It's gonna take like a group of strangers to get this intervention done.
As far as an intervention with them, we'd have to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I watched that intervention. I got to tell you, if they pull one of these on Anthony, they're going to need a keg in the room.
Yeah. Everyone will be drinking. It'll just turn into a party in the room.
Right.
They'll forget why I came in and just think it's a party.
I look around the room sometimes. I go, "There's no one here to help this guy. There's no one close to him that can help."
Anthony's intervention is this: it's going to be him, head down, like really groggy, with like a little cut on his forehead.
Oh no!
And something bad with the car. And he's going to look and go, "What happened?" And they go, "You don't remember." And they're going to be pulling a ribbon off the bumper.
Oh, Jesus.
and a little thing that was walking a puppy. It's going to be ugly.
Oh no!
Be real careful, man.
No, I don't drive like that.
I don't want to see that happen. That's something.
Oh, shut up!
No one does.
No. I love how there's always a ribbon in my grill. A little patent leather shoe.
But the way Lydia says, I don't want to see that happen. Like, you know what? God damn it, she's right. Killing a child while driving would be a bummer. We know. We're joking.
Yeah. All right, Lydia, get lost.
I don't want nuclear war. What, are you crazy? Oh, she's right, darn it.
Got a ticket from cousin on Christmas Eve. I get out of tickets with my dad's detective's shield. Got pulled over with a pound of weed. That's Malik.
Malik from Asbury Park.
We're late. We got Louis C.K. waiting to come on the show here. Malik.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What's up, Malik, my brother?
Yo, dig it. One day, I'm feeling good. I just pick up an elbow. So I got the elbow in the back seat. I'm at a stop sign. No, I'm at a red light.
All right, can I stop you? Because I'm a big fan of the street lingo. What's an elbow?
A pound is LB. LB, a pound elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wow, how did you know that, Ant?
I just figured it out, actually, because I thought a pound, LB, elbow.
I'm still using cheddar. I gotta update my street lingo. I'm going with elbow.
See, I thought that meant because a pound is heavy, you have to put some elbow grease.
All right, you got the elbow. What happened?
Yo, so I'm at a red light, so I'm feeling good. So I'm like, yo, bump it. So I just keep it moving. So I'm putting the red light. I don't see the task force behind me, so they pull me over.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm nervous. I'm paranoid. Like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? They're going to smell the weed. So I immediately hop out the car. Oh, my God, I can't believe this girl doing this to me. The dude's like, yo, what's going on here? You know, you disrespect me. You run the red light. I'm like, dog, yo, this girl is in here. My baby's mother. She got 5 of my kids. She's going to take them away. I'm going to go to work. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, dude is like, yo, I start crying. Dude's feeling my pain. He's like, look.
He's crying.
Yo, I whip up tears so fast. Yo.
But when you're thinking of prison time, if you get caught, I bet it's easy to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, for sure, man. Yo, listen. The dude, he's feeling my pain. He's like, look, just do me a favor. Get in the car and promise that you will not do anything harsh and we're going to have to be called out here and be good. I'm like, thank you. So he pulls off. I go back the other way. I'm like, oh, man, word is fine. I was looking at 3 to 5 real easy and made it happen.
Damn. Well, you got lucky. And you're stupid for blowing a light when you got an elbow in your car.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? 10 and 2 if you got the elbow in the car.
Build a hat out of weed. Don't put it in the back. What you do is the cop will never search your hat. Make a hat out of marijuana. A pot hat. That's my idea. See you, man.
All right, Kevin from Connecticut. E-Rock weighs 275 elbows. Too bad we couldn't do that line in front of E-Rock. It's more fun.
We'll hit Fatty when he walks in.
Yeah, we'll get Fatty on the air next. All right, what happened, Anthony?
Ah, Friday.
What happened?
What? What?
I'm hearing that you got pulled over again.
Well.
Oh, by the way, welcome to the Opie and Anthony show.
Hi. Yeah, you better tell them the date. They might think it's a best of.
I know.
When you say I've been pulled over. Jesus. I don't know what it is with me.
Recently, you told us you get pulled over twice a month, was it?
Probably twice a month.
And I thought that was a bit high. I'm like, no way. No one gets pulled over twice a month, but here we go.
Now I'm in early for October.
Yeah.
One more pullover, and I met my quota.
Yeah.
And I got the whole month pretty much to do it in.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, it wasn't technically a pullover. It was a pull next to. I got up a little late today. I did my old shut the alarm off, because when you're half asleep and half awake, you have this weird sensibility that makes no sense at all, where you assume, I'm awake. I could shut my eyes for a couple of minutes without any alarms left, because I had shut all my alarms off.
That is the worst.
And then what felt like 2 seconds of sleep was about 20 minutes of sleep. So,
of course.
That's how you wake up and then you go, no, damn it.
That's time machine sleep.
Damn it. And then you got to jump up and rush. And then I just say to myself, I go, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm there by, even 5:30, it's fine. So don't rush and make a nut of yourself.
Don't panic.
Yeah, no panicking, right. So I drive. I'm doing a little weaving, a little speeding to get in. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was once I get into the Midtown Tunnel, it's a crapshoot. When both lanes are open, usually they only have one lane open because they got this huge machine that scrubs the walls of the tunnel every day.
I don't know why they have to do that.
Do you know?
Why do they have to keep tunnels
day.
Clean?
Well, because I remember the old days of going through the tunnels, and the walls were just black. They were just covered with exhaust and everything. So I don't mind them cleaning the tunnels, but do it at 2 or 3 in the morning when no one's going through the tunnel.
I would love to know how much it costs the taxpayers of this fine city to clean the dumb walls in the tunnels.
Keep the tiles clean in the tunnels.
Yeah, I would love to know, because it's not like a little job you kind of give a tiny little company out there in, I don't know, Lindenhurst or something. Yeah. It's got to be millions of dollars. And it has to be millions.
Dude, it's proprietary machinery they use for this, too. There's one machine that leads the pack that kind of squirts this soapy water on it.
Yeah.
And then this other machine follows it up with these brushes that are on these levered arms that just cover the whole tunnel with foamy stuff. And then another rinse machine. And you drive past it and you just get pelted with soapy, dirty tunnel water.
Yeah.
So both tubes are open today. So I come out of the gate there, and you got to look. You got to look in front of you. You got to see what's in there. If it's one of those buses that transport people from Queens into Manhattan, they almost look like they're there for sick old people buses. Don't even get behind it unless you're driving a tank and can blast it out of your way, because those things will do 10 miles an hour wherever they're going. They infuriate me. So I pick a lane, and I get stuck behind one of these things. So I'm doing 15 miles an hour through the tunnel. I'm already late.
Were you annoyed?
I was so pissed, Jimmy. I'm just like... and then they step on the brake. There's no one in front of them. And then they're stepping on brake lights are constantly coming on. So every time the brakes came on, I went, beep, beep. So the guy might, I'm hoping he'll notice, what is he beeping at? And then notice, every time I step on the brakes, he seems to beep. Oh, why am I even stepping on the brakes? You try to put sense in their head, but it never works.
But most people, if that is being done to them, if you did that to me, I would just slow down and be a complete ass.
I'll hit you.
Yeah,
I swear I'll just run right into the bumper.
Yeah, I understand, but
I go crazy.
Most people don't want to be told what to do ever.
And if there's 4 of those little cones taken out, I'll switch lanes.
Of course,
I'll just switch lanes in mid tunnel when you're not supposed to.
Yeah, but take out your own cones for the people behind you. Those things are Yeah, they're just wobbly cones.
I did it with one of my old rentals or leases, like right at the tail end of my lease, and
Nice.
it does leave some orange marks on your bumper.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I decided against that. I wait for the ones that are taken out already.
Okay.
But couldn't do that.
Uh-huh.
So I'm behind him. The second I get out of the tunnel, it opens up to about 2, 4, 6 lanes that take you to various places, either midtown, downtown, or uptown. 2 lanes each. So I hammer in one of the lanes. Where you just hear the engine go, boom, boom, and I race past whoever was effing me in the tunnel. And then in front of them was this black van. It's just a piece of crap black van. So I go around the right side of them and zip back in front of them because I can't be in that lane because that's the one that turns to go in a different direction I want to go.
Yeah, sure.
So I slip back in front. You got to go through this little chicane. It's like a little zigzag to get to the light I need to go to. Light. It's just this thing I pay no attention to in the morning. I usually make a right on red there. I do stop to look.
Can you talk to Kenny?
Why?
I'm glad you're bringing this up. Just talk to him and go, look, Kenny, 4:30, 5 in the morning, those lights are optional.
They are completely optional.
They're completely optional.
I
But
stop,
Kenny
I look.
jams on the brakes when he sees yellow. I'm like, what are you doing? We're the only car on the road.
The only danger with that is that people time the lights at that hour.
Right.
And they'll drive at speed right toward a red light. Looking at the side, you could see the reflection of the yellow on the other side, knowing that it's going to turn red and you're going to get green.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys, they underestimate the length of the light. They go blowing through red lights.
Yeah, sure.
Other people are blowing through their light that's turning yellow. So it's a very dangerous situation going up third at that hour. But I come out of the tunnel, I zip around this guy, and then I hear whoop, 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 whoop. I'm like, is that a background noise on one of these commercials on Winsome?
Yeah.
What that is? Because I didn't see any cops. I'm pretty, I look around. So I get ready to make my right on red, which is completely illegal. And a van pulls up next to me, and I just see Sergeant Stripes out the window.
Oops.
And I look, and I see a van loaded with police officers.
Oops.
Just loaded.
That's not the one that was in the tunnel going slow, is it?
No. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I did zip around him, too, because I zip around everybody once I get out of the tunnel. My motto is, you're not going faster than me, get out of the way, kind of a thing.
Sure.
I'm late.
It's a great motto.
It's my motto.
It's the worst motto
It's
I've
my
ever heard.
credo in life. My mantra. I
It's not a
repeat it.
motto. That's just something a dick says.
Hence, it's my motto. So he pulls up. He goes, so what are you doing? Running me off the road? I was like, I'm late. Sorry, sir. I kind of late. He goes, I see what you're doing here. You're in position to, go through this light. I go, yeah, I was gonna. I go, I'm late. He goes, late for what? I go, and then I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Ooh.
Here's my chance.
Okay, here's my only chance.
Here's my chance. They're either fans or not.
Late for the radio show? Oh, where? I said, K-Rock. I'm going into, 92.3 here in New York. Oh, what's your name? I go, Anthony. And the whole van of cops is now laughing at me. They're all laughing at me. And he was making a left. I was making a right. So he just shook his head. He goes, I guess we'll hear about this on the radio.
Well, here we are.
I go, yeah, I have to announce all of my pullovers. But and then I had to turn and go, it's pretty sneaky in that crappy van you're driving.
Why do you have to be cocky?
No, I wasn't being cocky. It was just, you know why? It was the honest truth. It was pretty sneaky in that crappy van.
Right.
Dude, it was a crappy black van, not one marking on it. It looked like a van that somebody delivering bread drives in or something.
Sure.
And
but they're letting you off the hook, and then you got to.
Oh, I know.
You kind of give them a little jab.
It was good-natured.
All right.
I'm always good-natured with the police officers, and I admitted I was completely wrong. I was driving like a douche. I do, most mornings, and when I wake up late, I drive more douche-like. So I want to thank those. The sergeant there was very nice.
Well, you've many times on many occasions said that, like, yeah, I'll stop if the cop stops me, but they're not going to give me a ticket. And you,
I don't think I've ever said that. I do not have that type of.
I don't know. I kind of remember something.
Yeah, it's a matter of
something like that.
Who's got the guts to do it?
No. See, now you're trying to get me in trouble by saying I say certain things that I never say.
Something about being unstoppable.
I have the utmost respect and complete gratitude when I'm given courtesy like that on the road after I've pulled a bonehead move. I absolutely.
I understand you don't want to
appreciate it.
I understand you don't want to say this on the radio. You know, we
it's
understand
not the radio. It's you two being jackasses trying to get me in trouble.
Just saying,
the next time I get pulled over by somebody that's listening.
You're a very different person in the office. Is all we're saying.
No, I am not, because like I said, it's the utmost respect and I appreciate the courtesy.
Something about I show them who's boss.
No, see, that isn't even something I would say.
Are you with me on this or not?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up! Jesus, I would never. Oh,
something about I dare you.
No, I wasn't blasting F the police on my radio.
That's after you leave, you know.
No.
If one of these guys would just follow you after they pull you over, they would realize that you don't learn any lessons whatsoever.
I learned lessons.
How many lights did you blow through after these guys gave you a break?
None.
Be honest.
None. And I usually, when I turn on 57th, it's 2 lanes going my direction. If those 2 lanes are taken up by vehicles, I know they will not go faster than me, and they'll make me miss the next light.
Right.
Which holds me up. So I will go into the bus taxi turn lane thing and zip around them when the light turns green.
Right.
But like I said, there's no one on the road. And I wait for the green light. I just got to get around people. I got to get around them. They don't know how to drive. Does anyone have to get anywhere? Is anyone in a rush in the morning to get somewhere? Or is it just this lackadaisical friggin' Sunday drive in the mountains to look at leaves? What the hell are you doing? Move! Get out of the left lane, too. Left lane. Move! Out of the way!
And most people hate their jobs. Why would they be in a hurry to get there? Oh, can't wait.
You know what?
Can't wait to load boxes in a truck all morning long.
Don't make mine and many other people that I've noticed, many other people, don't make them miserable by sitting in that left lane, pacing the car in the middle lane. Mm-hmm. If you're in the left lane and you see a car right next to you in the middle lane for more than 2 seconds, you're in someone's way.
Yeah,
you're blocking the entire effing road.
I'm with you with that.
And then there's idiots that will sit behind a big dump truck that is pelting you with rocks. You hear, it sounds like you're in a rainstorm, but it's rocks and sand, just sandblasting and pelting your vehicle. And what do? They sit there. So I got to make a move into the right lane from the left, sweep around the truck, and then way back into the left, which is another illegal move because I'm doing 90 at the time.
Sure.
But, yeah, I don't want to sit there getting pelted by rocks from dump trucks.
What was the silliest vehicle that ever pulled you over? I asked that because Kevin from Connecticut writes, I got pulled over by an ice cream truck once.
Oh, that's bad. That is bad. I guess today has to rank right up there. It wasn't a pull over, but like I said, the guy pulled up to my window with his window there because that was just... out of any car on the road, I wouldn't have even thought that was a car that had cops in it, a van. Yeah, it was.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it because I was, a little tardy. I decided to pull the old. Let's get a little more sleep. I'm awake enough where I won't fall into it.
Yeah.
Jeep, 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 jeep. I was out.
Why don't we go for an early break?
So I'm getting on to the Expressway. I have a very long on-ramp by my house to get on the Expressway, which I like because I'm of the school of thought that if you're getting on a major highway, use the on-ramp to get up to highway speed. Whenever I see somebody at the end of an on-ramp with their blinker on and their head hanging out the window with their elbow looking over their shoulder like, how did you fail?
Right.
How did you fail the entire length of the on-ramp
to figure this
to
out?
fit in to traffic?
Right.
It amazes me. And when I pass that car, I always look and go, up, it figures, because it's always one of them.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I give it the gun, give it the gas, wham, working the Escalade up to highway speed. And I notice the back end of a police car. It's not a Nassau County cop car. It's not a sheriff's car. But it is a police car. So I see him. He's in front of me. I'm on the on-ramp. I see he's on the expressway. I'm on the on-ramp. I'm coming on. I get on. I move into the middle lane, and I'm holding my speed, which is over the speed limit, but not crazy, and I pass him. I pass the officer. This is a local town cop who I think has jurisdiction over about a mile of the expressway.
Oh,
yeah.
God, you got...
Yeah. It was a local town cop, but he does have expressway jurisdiction between like one exit.
Oh my God!
So
I didn't have anything better to do,
dude. Well, so he gets right on my ass, and now I'm like in that position where you go, is he gonna do this? If you're gonna just do it already, So it took a little while, but he hits me with the lights. I pull right over. It's expressway, so I pull over on the off ramp, and very close to the side. I give him plenty of room. Always give the guy plenty of room. Some people pull over on the expressway and leave the cop hanging out in traffic. It just amazes me. Now the guy's pissed, So I gave him plenty of room. He comes out, and he just asked me for my paperwork. Doesn't tell me what I did or anything. Because I was at this point like questioning. I was like, I didn't do anything. He didn't get me on radar. I wasn't going fast enough, long enough for him to tail me and get my speed. And I had slowed down when he pulled up behind me. Mm-hmm. I had slowed down to highway speed, which is why he got right on my ass like that again. So it was a mystery to me. I'm like, usually when this happens, I'm sure I know why I'm being pulled over. I'm doing 95 on radar. So he comes back and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I was getting on the on-ramp," and I go, you got one of those choices to make. You either speed up to get past the car or you slow down to get behind him. So I sped up, and I ended up in front of you, and then I slowed down to highway speed. He goes, "You passed me doing about 70-something. And I was like, I knew I didn't. I was in the 60s somewhere, but I didn't argue the point. And he said, "When you were behind me," I go, "Look, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you." I said, a lot of people, when there's a cop behind them, have no clue what to do. Do you slow down to the speed limit? Do you speed up a little over the speed limit? Do you get out of the way? He goes, "Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't do. You don't zip into another lane and pass me."
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that was kind of a
You don't
jab
like
at me
that.
at what I did.
He was giving you the business.
He was, and then he goes, "I pulled you over before doing the same thing."
Of course he did.
And I go, I'm like Jesse James on the expressway. I can't drive on this road. I'm going to have to start taking the Parkway and take my chances with the Stadies. So,
he remembered you?
He remembered me.
Oh,
he goes, "You were in a red Ferrari."
Oh, my God.
You
were in a different
and
car.
then he goes, "You're going to tell me it was the same thing with the on-ramp?" I said, "No, that was crazy." I agreed with him. I said, "No, that was crazy. It was the Ferrari and everything." So he hands me my stuff back, and he goes, "I'm not going to write you up because I just know you little cronies are going to get you out of it anyway."
Cronies.
And he called them cronies, threw my stuff in my lap, and walked away. I know your little cronies are going to get you out of it.
Well, it's like you always say, man, like they don't dare give you a ticket.
That's
They
right.
know better.
Oh, no, I never said that.
No, you were saying that in the office.
No, I was
this particular
very courteous.
officer you were calling a chump.
No, I said, "Thank you, sir. Thank you,
that's
officer."
not what we heard, right, Jimmy?
I said, "Have a happy New Year, officer. Thanks."
Nope.
I smiled. I was very courteous because I'm always courteous to the police. I know I'm doing wrong when I do wrong.
Jimmy,
this one was a little much.
Let me go to Jimmy. We heard it
call.
differently. We heard it differently. Anthony.
Marginal call.
Jimmy,
this one.
What did he actually say?
Anthony was like, no, he said the cop was cool. He's like, the cop pulled me over, was courteous, and he knew better, so he walked away. And you were right.
No, I didn't say anyone knew better.
You're right.
I would never say that. I count my blessings anytime.
Something about I dare you to give me a ticket. Yeah, we heard it.
No, I never say that.
You should. Anthony says one time. This is what he said. He didn't say anybody specific, but if they actually tried to write a ticket, I would line my knuckles with PBA cards and punch their face and say, "Pick them."
No, I never said that either.
I was surprised he was talking like that.
I didn't even use a PBA card.
You did.
You didn't need to. You know better.
Use one.
You got cronies.
I got cronies. My cronies.
Is it true you called him a rookie? What a rookie!
No, I didn't call him a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If he's listening, I want to say again, thank you for the courtesy that he gave me.
Why are you winking as you say this?
To let me. I'm not winking. I'm not.
Anthony doesn't even like a lot of times you say I don't even make eye contact with him. Like when he hands him a PBA card, he cracks his window. Like you know how you flick a cigarette out the window? That's how he holds the PBA card. And they come and get it.
Doesn't even turn down his radio.
Yeah.
I tell him,
no
you
respect.
want to play 52 card pickup? Yeah. And then I go.
Yeah, with PBA cards.
Yes, with PBA cards.
That's right.
No, I don't do that. And this one, I got to tell you, every other time I've been pulled over, I've agreed that I was completely in the wrong. This time, it was a very marginal call that I don't really think I should have gotten pulled over for.
You do realize you shouldn't be saying this time.
What? I get pulled over about once a month.
Mm-hmm. This is the first of 2009?
That was the first of 2009. It was like, wow, that was fast. 4 days in.
Can I go local? Can I go local? Lake Success?
Yeah, no. It wasn't the Lake Success guys. Mm-hmm. Those guys are badasses. They drive Chargers, and you gotta.
And they don't like it.
You drive through Lake Success. I can't drive through Lake Success.
Mm-hmm.
I can't drive through Westbury.
Wait, why not? Why can't you drive through Lake Success?
Because I drive too fast. Like I can't drive the way I want to drive.
Oh, okay.
I have to put on my cruise control. Because I will go nuts if I'm behind somebody that's doing 60 and I see the middle lane is completely clear, I will go right into the middle lane and goose it and get past everybody. And that's when I get in trouble, when I'm passing people, which is most of the time. So I have to set my cruise control and just sit back and grit my teeth and go, you're not in a hurry. Just take it easy. Don't go crazy. And I have to do that through now Lake Success, Westbury, the 6th precinct in Suffolk County, which now is all sheriffs out there. So I think I'm kind of in the clear.
This?
Because I've been pulled over by every single one of them. The guys all know me now. They got, yes.
Yeah, so
one
basically,
foot on the brake and one on the gas. Hey.
Basically, you're telling everybody out there that you have to be a regular Joe through 3 towns on Long Island.
I pretty much got, not a regular Joe, I get passed by a lot of people. And it annoys me. You know? 1 foot on the brake, one on the gas.
Mm-hmm.
I can't drive 55. You tell him, Sammy.
Oh, it's just horrendous.
He can't drive 55, Jim. Oh, my God. There's too much traffic. I can't pass. It drives me crazy. This is the song that's going through my head when I'm driving.
What's this, 83 or something?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Some awful year.
Big black and white. Cuts the groove again. And then I sing. Oh, you don't like this, Jimmy? Oh. Take my license, all that jive.
I can't drive.
See, he can't drive 55.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else rhymes? I drink 5 Alive. I enjoy Burl Ives. This is terrible.
Stephen S. from Bayshore. Ed tells himself you'll still be filthy rich even if it takes you an extra 10 minutes to get there.
Oh, is that what I do?
Tells himself. Maybe Ed tells him.
Yeah. That's what I have to do when I drive.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I hit a wall of traffic.
Oh, boy.
And I started getting a little antsy.
Up on the curb? What'd you do?
No. This is expressway driving. It's 5 in the morning, whatever it is.
Sure.
And I get antsy. Like, why are you in the left lane and not doing 70 at this hour? You're doing 60, and you're not passing the people next to you. So it gets me kind of crazy, and I start looking for openings. I start looking ahead for openings. And when I find one, I take it, and I hammer down and get past the entire thing. And then I look at my rearview mirror and just see this big block of headlights and go, what are they doing? Why aren't they in a hurry to get anywhere? One guy had his hazard lights on in the left lane. If you got a problem that you got to turn your hazards on, you better be on the shoulder or the right lane.
Sure.
This guy was in the left lane with his hazards on. I had to pull next to him in the middle lane and just look at him until he finally looked at me. And I saw something from some faraway land that didn't understand the concept of turn off your hazards. It negates your blinkers, first of all. It makes your blinkers useless. And you're in the left lane. That's not what country are you in? Oh, it's annoying. No wonder I get pulled over all the time. People annoy me on the road. I get genuinely annoyed. So in driving home, I set the cruise control.
Very good.
Because that's what I do. I've been pulled over for speeding every time I'm pulled over. Every time I get pulled over, it's for speeding. It's not for an illegal lane change. It's not for not using my blinkers. It's not for equipment violations. Mm-hmm. It's always for speeding. So if I want to put the odds down of me getting pulled over, I set the old cruise, stay in the right or middle lane, keep her between the lines, drive like a good boy.
You're thinking.
But I've always done that. It's when I'm driving to where I'm going. That's the problem.
Wow.
That's when I'm not thinking.
Basically, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
There's something going on.
Wow.
At your destination.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. We're going to mop up next. Opie and Anthony.
Jesus.
My God.
I got to thank Nassau County, one of Nassau County's finest.
Yeah.
Thank you this morning. I was in a bit of a rush. I was a little late for work. So I got pulled over a block from my house.
Wait. That's your excuse for speeding today?
Yeah. And good thing, because here's what happens. I come ripping down this road, and I got to make the light at the expressway. If I don't make that light, I sit there for quite a while. Or I'm supposed to sit there for quite a while. I have been known to maybe skip through that light a couple of times. So I saw the don't walk sign blinking.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So don't walk sign blinking, so I knew I only had a limited time, so I goosed it. And right when I made the turn, boop, I get hit with the lights, and I'm like, oh, boy. And officer came out. Of course, I do what I always do. I turn the lights on, make sure, my hands are up on the steering wheel, the window's down, but he comes up and just kind of looks over and started laughing at me. He goes, oh, because I was wondering who was doing 60 and a 30.
God, we do different things when we get pulled over. When I get pulled over, I turn on Hot 97, and I make sure my hands are in both pockets.
Both pockets? And you just mouth off?
And I turn it up.
Through a crack in the window only an inch big. What I get pulled over for?
Hopefully a song with the N-word in it a lot.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Something anti-police?
That's what I do. Rap music really loud, both hands in my pockets.
Apparently, though, he
Wait, a 60 and a 30, though, huh?
Yeah, 60 and a 30.
Nice.
But then he was pretty cool because I told him I was late, and he goes, oh, okay, go as fast as you want.
Did he really say that?
And then he goes, love Boardroom Jimmy.
Big fan of the show.
Yeah, big fan of the show. And he was in the area, though, because the warmer weather. He goes, well, the weather gets warmer. He goes, we've been patrolling around your neighborhood because the weather gets warmer. He goes, and the home invasions start again. So now I got that to worry about.
Oh, boy.
Which is great.
You just got to get the gate.
Well,
it's time for the gate.
No, I actually had my friend Habil, Cowbell Bill. He does alarms. Come over yesterday, and we're going to put a few more items in the house.
Like what? You already have alarms.
There's here it is, though.
What's wrong with you?
There's alarms that can detect the sound of breaking glass.
Here's what they're doing now. Here's what the criminals do. You can have an alarm system where if your window opens, the alarm goes off. The door opens, the alarm goes off. Motion detected, the alarm goes off, whatever. But if they break your window and never move the frame, and there's not a sensor on the window or something like that, because people don't like sensors on the windows. That's like old school. Or the aluminum little strip around the window. Looks like a prison. So if they break your window, they can then come in your window, and especially nowadays, people have very large windows, and load out through the window, never setting off the alarm.
No motion detectors, though?
Maybe the motion detector's bypassed. You don't have them all over your house. There's certain ways of getting around those things.
So why don't you just hire someone to sit there with a gun?
No,
get
that's
a guard.
That's
get a
me.
guard in the front.
Here's what
Someone
they
walk the
have
perimeter.
now.
You're Italian after all.
Here's what
are you
they
waiting
have.
for?
Get this. It's a sensor that senses the sound of breaking glass.
Look at you.
How is that?
What if they cut it like they do in a lot of the escape movies?
What are they going
put
to
a
cut?
Suction cut.
Yeah.
And they put a diamond around it.
Yeah.
They cut the glass and pull it out. That's
Suction cup, man.
That suction cup doesn't work like that.
Sure it does.
Sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
I used to rob banks.
Yeah.
I got
Jimmy did.
Did you?
I got it all the time.
And I got these big muttons in the window in the middle. Could never do it without breaking the glass.
Anthony spends half his night laying in bed,
Motion detectors, cameras.
staring at the ceiling, figuring out other ways to protect his
I
house.
want it like Scarface's house with the cameras where I can watch those gorillas come over the wall.
What are you afraid the Diaz brothers are going to come in?
The Diaz brothers.
We shouldn't talk about that. Scarface, an older movie. No one cares about it.
Yeah, true.
By the way, I wonder if John Manelli's going to critique the break we did with Tom Chiasano and Van Halen, because that was just terrific. That got people listening today.
I know what my phone was doing this morning. How's that for a segue?
What happened?
Texting Keith, who I guess is asleep, and Club Soda Kenny to tell him I was going to be a little late.
Right.
I was on 3rd Avenue, right outside the old Midtown Tunnel, with 2 cop cars behind me with the lights blaring.
Perfect day.
Lights just flashing, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. God. And then, the gentleman walks up to the window, and I notice his lovely captain's bars. Yeah, Captain pulled me over. Oof, that's a tough nut, man.
Is that bad?
That's bad.
That's a bad one?
That's a bad one, because let me tell you something.
Yeah, but just pull out those fucking PBA cards.
No,
Captain.
not
Hey,
with
Cap,
a not
you have
with
a
a
captain's
captain.
hat on your mirror.
Yeah, not with a captain. You don't start throwing that
you
crap
pull
around.
that
He's
shit
been
out
around.
and go, will you hurry up? I just lost one of my gigs yesterday, and I need to get
You
there.
guys would be sitting here while I was in cuffs.
Chop.
Is it hard to give a captain a card?
It's hard to get pulled over by a captain. They don't pull people over.
Why
is that
by Patterson?
They don't. Yeah.
Why is it hard?
They don't pull
that's
people
below
over.
them?
They've done it for years.
They laugh at that stuff.
They laugh at it. They're not gonna.
I'll call some plebe.
Captains are not gonna step out of the vehicle for a traffic stop.
So it's kind of bad when he steps out of the vehicle.
Yeah. It ain't good.
That would have been hilarious if you called and said, "Oh boy, they took me in today."
Well, apparently, no, because I did my move. I right out of the tunnel. I knew I was done for. Here's what happens.
Yeah.
At 5 a.m. ish, when I'm driving down the Long Island Expressway, there are a multitude of people in my way.
Right.
I've discussed this time and time again. The left lane, and I'm not even talking for doing 100 miles an hour. I mean doing the goddamn speed limit, maybe a little over. There's just people there in the left lane. They will not get out of your way.
If they're going 75, though, let's be honest, they're slow.
75?
You're talking about...
No, I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest.
They're going 55 in the left lane at 5 in the morning?
60.
60?
Which isn't good.
Right.
75, if the road is clear to get around them, I'll go around them. If there's traffic, I'm not going to try to make any moves. I'll just sit there and go and suck it up and go, I'm doing 75. It's not bad. I don't care. But once I pass the exit for the Queensboro Bridge, which is Van Dam Street, it completely clears up. That's the last free crossing for the East River to get into Manhattan.
Right.
Is the bridge.
Traffic
sucks
goes
there.
down to nothing.
It sucks to take the bridge. That's why I don't do it. I take the tunnel.
Because only rich people continue at that point.
That's right. Only the wealthy can drive past Van Dam Street. Believe me.
All the scum falls off to the bridge.
The riffraff has to take the old freebie bridge.
You see that Van Dam exit backing up with like
it's backed up like crazy.
Trucks with graffiti on it. And
yes.
Trucks that have foreign languages on them.
1976 Toyota Celicas.
Right, a lot of Toyotas.
Oh, it's just get out of my way. So finally, that's where it clears up. Mm-hmm. And that's where I hit the goddamn gas.
Right.
And I usually, I'll be honest, I usually do about 90 from Van Dam to the toll plaza for the Midtown Tunnel. Now, when I'm coming up that hill, there's a couple of livery cab drivers, some of those Asian buses, those little white buses carrying a little Asian people.
Any Hampton jitneys?
Some jitneys.
Oh, so they are driving with a bunch of Asian people.
Whoa, look what you're doing.
Oh, that was a fun to do.
That's insane.
How
could you do that? Oh, my God. Are we in trouble?
The lawyers are going to talk to us about that.
No. What have we done?
Sorry, he's an Asian. I had to do it.
Of course you did.
So how were the little tiny dick fellas?
Oh, boy. Stupid.
So I usually hit it there to get around as many of the big trucks and stuff that's going to be doing 10 miles an hour through the tunnel.
Right.
Which drives me bat shit. I can't do it. I can't sit behind them through the tunnel as they're just bamble, bamble, bamble. It drives me nuts. So I try to get through the toll gate as quickly as possible and around all those trucks.
Right.
And I'm one of those that don't stop at the toll gate. I have faith in my placement of my Easy Pass, and I know that gate's going up. So I do the old slow roll. I do the slow roll and let the thing pretty much tap off my windshield. And then the second it opens, it's like Englishtown, New Jersey when the Christmas tree hits green. Whoa! I goose it. I get in the left lane of the tunnel, and I do my launching the fighter from the Galactica kind of view.
Yeah.
And that's how I drive through the tunnel, perhaps a little fast. Well, I didn't know this, but this officer was in a black Lincoln like the ones that the town cars use. And he was behind me, I guess, at some point before the plaza, in between Van Dam and the tunnel, I had passed him doing 90 miles an hour.
Nice.
So he followed me through the tolls and into the tunnel. Now, I thought he was a livery cab driver right on my ass. So I'm going from the tunnel to the tunnel mirror, because the tunnel's very narrow. And in an Escalade, going very fast, it's hard to hold your lane, especially if you're checking your mirror.
I think they took that tunnel, and it used to be like one big lane, and they squeezed it down
to two.
Because, I mean, for the people that don't know about this tunnel, I mean, when Ant says it's very narrow, it is unbelievable. You don't have much room on the sides, and they put those weird. They're not even cones. They're like what would you call them? Those plastic pipes.
Yeah, they look like pipes. They're made of plastic, but it looks like an orange pipe in the middle of the lane, so you can't change lanes in the tunnel.
About 3 feet high.
Yeah,
and they're spaced out maybe every foot.
That's why I like when there's 6 months left on my lease.
Those
things become. Nothing.
It's like a slalom course.
It's nothing. I just
sorry.
I'm changing lanes. Go screw yourself.
I had to jump in because of how narrow this tunnel is.
Yeah.
It's to go 90. I'm just amazed. By the way,
it's.
I'll push 70 and I'll be like, holy shit! I'm gonna hit the sides of the wall.
Oh, it's fun until you hit that curve at the end.
Because they also didn't figure out this tunnel that it's not straight.
Yeah.
there's a lot. I don't know what the fuck they were when
They're
they were
turning to miss a fish. They had to turn to miss a fish in the river at one point.
turning to miss
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they did when they were building this thing.
It's like driving through a birthing canal.
Right. But you gotta. It starts to turn nice right, and then it turns back left, and then it turns right again.
Picture when Schwarzenegger got dropped down that tunnel in Running Man. That's what it's like driving
Running
through.
Man reference.
That's what it's like driving through there.
Anyway, sorry.
So
the tunnel's very narrow.
So the tunnel's narrow. I'm speeding through. The guy's right on my ass. And then as I look in my mirror at one point, the light glares off his windshield, and I notice he's got those little hidden "you're fucked" lights in his windshield.
Right.
So I start slowing down. Day late and $1 short. I mean, way too late on this one. So he's right on my ass, and I know once I exit the tunnel, I'm done. I exit the tunnel. I turn onto 3rd, and woo! It's him and another patrol car, a cruiser.
They've been chatting, haven't they?
Two of them. Perhaps. He comes out. I see it's a captain. I'm just like, oh, God.
All right, well, then
and then I get
a few extra PBAs.
No, because I get a
chop.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Is that his opening line?
Oh yeah, that's the opener. He opened strong. He opened with a strong one.
That's good.
That to me is keep your cards. If I even see one, I'm going to get mad. License, registration, and insurance. So I get my license and insurance, and apparently when Keith the cop went 2 years ago to re-register my vehicle, he lost my registration. He'll never fess up to it, but he lost my registration.
Right.
So I've been driving around without my registration card. And I said, I had to go then, officer, I don't have my Reggie. How do I know you own the vehicle? What am I supposed to do? Just trust you?
Boy.
He goes, yeah, I can take this the vehicle now.
What?
I'm just like, yes, sir, I understand. He goes, you don't understand. You're driving like a maniac. You come up on that toll plaza, you pass me at 90 miles an hour, you're driving reckless, you're there. And I'm like, yes, sir, I understand, sir. And he's like, you don't understand. It's like, and then I'm just looking at him, he goes, what's the rush? And then I was like, yeah, okay, here we go.
This is where you said, I'm Anthony Cumia.
I said,
enough.
I'm a little late for my job. He goes, what job is that? And I said, I'm a radio host. And he asked the show. I said, the Opie and Anthony show. And he said, what happened to your registration? I go, well, one of your compatriots there kind of...
You threw Keith under the bus.
I threw Keith squarely under the bus. I said, lost it. He's my security guy, and he was re-registering the vehicle and seems to have lost my registration. He goes, stay in the vehicle. I'll be right back. So he goes back, and I'm expecting just to have him take the pen to me.
Right.
Pretty bad. Apparently, he just wrote me up for not producing a registration, which all I have to do is produce a registration. It is registered.
Right.
I just don't have the card, so I have to do that, and I'll be fine. So I thanked him, and then you got to do the old, I'm a safe driver as you pull away from the cop. It feels stupid. You feel like you're on your driver's test.
Put your blinker
Let me
on.
put my blinker on. I'm going to use my hand signals. What's for the left?
10
I'm
and
going to
2.
use my hand signals. 10 and 2.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. Let me do 20 miles under the speed limit now as I pull away, looking in my mirrors, making sure no one's coming. And then you got to drive like a schnook through the lights and everything.
But as soon as you were safe and sound and he was long gone, what do you do? The finger like he could still see you?
No, once I made
What'd
the
you
left
do?
on 57th.
Yeah.
It was English Town all over again. But
that's good.
Wow. Yeah. I texted Kenny, told him I was going to be late. Got pulled over. Hell of a day to get pulled over, Arnold. Yeah, so that's how my morning started. Wonderful. Fan-fucking-tastic.
It's perfect, though.
Yeah, it really fit the whole thing. I should have just opened up the newspaper where it says, Opie and Anthony get the axe and go, could you let me off the hook for old time's sake?